Hello and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Andre and I'm Director of Product here at PDFTron. In this webinar, I'm going to walk you through all the exciting additions that we have done for fall 2022 release. Oh, and just a quick note, this is a pre-recorded video, so that means I'm actually in the webinar with you watching it at the same time, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have. So just go ahead, jump in, and I'll answer them right away. Let's jump in. Before we jump in, quick note on how you can find all the information about today's release. This webinar is being recorded, so you can send it to your developers afterwards so they can watch it and kind of follow along as I show them how to enable those features in their environment. If you wish to learn more information about this particular launch or any of the features, you can actually head on over to our website, in which you can find information about our biggest release yet, the fall 2022 launch. Okay, so first things first, let's actually go ahead and take a look at the PDF editing. All right, so for this release in PDF text editing, we have added ability to inline edit any text on a PDF like you would in a Word document. Now, to enter text editing mode, all I gotta do is just navigate under the ribbon item that says edit text. Inside of it, it will load up and make all the editable areas of the document available with those segmented boxes. And let's actually go ahead and change the heading on this particular text. So I want to say it PDFTron Fall 2022 Overview, and I can click out of it, and it will actually resize or reflow the content based on my new input. Now let's go ahead and make it extend all the way across the page, and then what I can do is I can align the text center, and maybe let's actually go ahead and change the font to something else. Carlito sounds pretty good. And again, just align it to the center. All right, perfect. Let's say I need to make any changes inside of the paragraph. For example, PDFTron no longer just provides a PDF SDK, but we'll also have MS Office SDK, Image SDK, and Video. So now I can add all those additional formats, and as soon as I click out of it, the paragraph resizes based on the new content. Now what I can do next is actually can rearrange the positioning of the boxes as well. So for example, I can just go ahead and grab this box right here and move it around within the document as needed. So for example, let's say I want to push it a little bit down, so maybe my first 3 paragraphs actually take all the room I need right here. Make it like this and squish it to the top and make this one go right underneath, extend it out, and push it down a bit further. And same thing here. Perfect. Okay, awesome. So now I have everything kind of resized accordingly as I want. I can also go ahead and use this new tool to add a new paragraph to the text and type in anything I need inside of it. Awesome. And as soon as I click out of it, text becomes part of the document as well. Let's actually go ahead and style to match this overall style here. So I will just go ahead, first of all, resize it. And then after that, I will select a new color for this box. Let's give it this light gray color for the text. Perfect. Awesome. And now, if I want all the changes to persist on the PDF document, all I gotta do is just switch to a different mode. And as you can see that it became part of the PDF document. Awesome. Now let's actually go ahead and take a look at what do your developers need to do in order to enable this feature. All we gotta do is just go ahead and enable features that are available on the instance.ui that enable features for the feature to actually do the content editing. Okay, next up on our list is taking a look at the new functionality like side-by-side view, multi-tab, and document compare. Let's take a look. First mode in side-by-side allows us to load any 2 documents right by each other. Now, here this workflow most commonly when we have 2 different versions of the document, and we're trying to compare, or it could be we're working with two different file types that I need information for one in order to provide feedback on the other. We can load up any type of file. It could be a PDF and an image combination, PDF and docx, to docx. Now let's go ahead and upload two files. So I've got a legal contract and another legal contract version 2, in which we're going to notice the differences between the two documents. So let's go ahead and grab the second one, and as you notice at a glance they pretty much look exactly the same. However, let me go ahead and start comparison, and boom, I noticed quite a few differences, and to help me pick them out I have this new compare panel that shows me all the differences between the documents. Now what I can see in here is that the date has changed on this contract, as well as the address, and the amount for the purchase price has actually changed as well. And this not only just does a character by character comparison, but if the whole sentence has changed, the whole paragraph has changed, it will group all those changes together. Now, in terms of how your developers can enable this feature, it's a fairly straightforward code block, and let me show you. So in order to enable this feature, all we got to do is just say UI.enable features, and the feature is called multi-viewer mode. Now it's also possible to programmatically preload the two versions of the documents, so user doesn't have to browse around for those version types. The next functionality I want to show you is our new multi-tab mode. Now the new multi-tab mode, very similar to kind of browser tabs, allows you users to load up multiple PDFs, images, and other type of documents in a single WebViewer instance. And this greatly improves the user experience, as we heard from a lot of our customers and partners that their users do need this functionality. However, because WebViewer didn't have it available, the users would just go ahead and open up WebViewer in multiple browser tabs. Now this translates to increased memory usage, and doesn't provide as efficient and as good user experience as now we have with the new multi-tab mode. Let's take a look. So here I have the WebViewer demo tab that I'm currently on. I can jump to the legal contract that we just previously viewed in the previous demo and flip between back and forth the two. I can perform all the same functionality in terms of highlighting, annotating, commenting on two different documents while having them open in this multi-tab fashion. This comes really handy whenever I'm reviewing documents and there's multiple documents associated to that particular case or a folder, and I can view them all at once. I can also go ahead and hit plus and actually open up my own files. Your developers as well have the control over APIs where they can load up and add new tabs programmatically, remove the tabs as necessary as well. So here, for example, I want to add another file to this tab. I can go ahead and do so by selecting an image, in this case, of my dog. And for your developers to enable this, as you can see that in the initial doc property, I preloaded with two files, and I provided the extensions that we're going to be loading it up with. Next up, let's take a look at the new streamlined review and approval workflow. All right, so in this document, let's say I'm reviewing it and I notice that the images haven't been updated in this document in quite a long time. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the rectangle tool that allows me to draw the reader's attention to the place on the document and go through all of the document and find all the images that actually need to be updated. So I'm going through the pages and I'm noticing that there's no more images except on this other page, and that's it. Now, instead of me typing out the comment multiple times over and over and asking them to replace the image and update it to the latest one, I can go ahead and open the comment panel and enter this new multi-select mode, in which I select the different annotations here, and then I can provide a singular bulk reply to all of them, or I can actually set the status or set the style of it or group them all together. Now in this case, I think grouping them all together so they're kind of related makes sense. So I can group them, and once I actually click into it, I can see all the different annotations that are present, as well as provide a particular comment on this rectangles. So for example, here I can say replace images, and to help users understand what actually gonna replace images with, I can use the new attachment feature, which allows me to attach the images and add them to the reply stack right here. So as you can see, I added the correct image to replace it with. And I also can quickly jump through and get to the different annotations that are present on this document to see what we're talking about here. Now, in terms of enabling this functionality, your developers don't have to do anything. It comes available out of the box. If your users or your use case doesn't match, you can disable the functionality simply by right-clicking, inspecting this element, finding the data element of this particular feature, and then you can just go ahead and disable this mode by simply calling instance.ui disable elements and pass in the multi-select mode button into it. Next up, we have a new additions to the signature workflow. Let's take a look. Perfect. So let's go ahead and make this PDF actually so someone can go ahead and sign it. To do so, I will just navigate to the Forms ribbon group right here, and it provides me with different signature fields, text fields, check boxes, radio buttons that I can add to this particular document. So maybe here I just want someone to place their signature. I can select and draw the area that I want, provide the field names, and control different field flags that are required or making the field read only. Now, this is the new functionality that we have added in the latest release that allows us to provide a document field indicators. And by default, it just gives you this placeholder text. However, you can change it to specific text that you want your users. So for example, let's say we're working on a contract, then we can actually provide a specific verbiage here related to that contract. Now, when I click OK here, as you can see, it added this signature flag that users can quickly jump between them and provide a much better signing experience as they're going through maybe a complex document. Now, this is just a signature field. However, let's go ahead and add another one. And maybe this time around, we want to add initials. Support for initials is the newest addition in this latest release. So here, I can just change the field type to the initials and can place another indicator here. Okay, perfect. So now I have initial here and sign here. I can apply fields, and now the document is ready to be signed. So I'll go ahead and add my own signature and initials to help start this process. So for example, I can go ahead and click on the initials and I can draw them or type them out. So here my name is Andre, and now my initials been added. I can also select the different styles or text styles of the signature representation. I really like this one. Let's go ahead and create it. And as I create it, it automatically places the right initials into the initials fields. And when I click on the signature, it will actually prompt me to select the signatures. And now I can place it right within the document. Now, in terms of enabling this functionality, let me show your developers how to do that. All right, so for the signatures, the form building functionality comes out of the box. You can disable that ribbon group if you don't need to. However, for initials, all you gotta do is just say instance.ui enable features, and in this case around, the feature is gonna be initials itself. I really hope you enjoyed this webinar. If you do have any questions, ask them away and I'll respond to you right away. Thank you so much for watching.